Most bad mornings don't start with bad news. They start with one small habit almost all of us repeat, without even thinking about it. By 8 o'clock, many people have already filled their minds with negative information. A headline here, a stressful message there, all before their feet touch the floor. This happens so fast, so automatically, that most of us never question it. Think about it honestly. The phone comes first, then the scrolling, then, somehow, a stranger's bad day becomes part of your own morning, without you ever agreeing to that trade. The surprising part is, the real problem isn't your phone. It isn't the news itself. It's something much smaller. Something that happens before either of them. Maybe this sounds familiar. Maybe you can already picture your own last few mornings and how they began. Think about your alarm going off tomorrow. Your hand already knows where the phone is, even before your eyes fully open. That's not weakness. That's just how habits work. Something repeated enough times stops feeling like a choice at all. Today we look at one quiet habit that protects your day, not by blocking the news, and not by deleting your phone. Let's start with a few small habits that help protect a calm mind. Clean your space, just a little, before you start your day. A messy room often makes a messy mind. Even a few minutes helps. Say one thing you're grateful for, out loud, before you check anything else. It shifts your starting point, before the day gets the chance to shift it for you. Limit negative news, especially in the morning. You're not ignoring the world. You're simply choosing when it gets to speak. Move your body for a few minutes. Stretching counts. It shifts your energy before your mind gets busy with everything else. Each of these habits leans your morning towards something positive, instead of leaving it open to whatever arrives first. All of these habits help, in different ways. But one habit does something surprisingly different, and that's the one we're exploring today. Think about your own last week. How many mornings started with a screen, before anything else? For most people, the honest answer is almost every single one. That's not a criticism. It's simply how modern mornings work, unless something small interrupts the pattern. What if the first 10 minutes of your morning belong to your own mind, instead of the world's problems? Think about how rare that would actually feel. 10 whole minutes, chosen on purpose, before anyone or anything else gets a say in your mood. One surprisingly simple way to do that. Spend 10 quiet minutes arranging a few flowers before you check anything negative. It sounds almost too small to matter. That's usually a sign a habit is actually worth trying. This isn't about a beautiful arrangement. It's not about knowing anything about flowers. A few stems, a small branch, a few leaves from outside. All of it works. The goal isn't a pretty vase. The goal is 10 quiet minutes before negativity gets a chance to speak first. Notice what's really being protected here. Not your appearance, not your productivity, just the first few minutes of your own attention before the world claims them. Here's the question we're answering today. Why does protecting 10 minutes every morning change how the whole day feels? By the end, you'll understand why this works, and you'll have one clear thing to try tomorrow, before you touch your phone. Let's start with the part almost everyone struggles with. Let's talk about why this is hard. Because it is hard, and that's very normal. Picture a normal morning. Someone wakes up, reaches for their phone. Within minutes, they've read a stressful headline, a tense message from work, an argument in the comments of something they never cared about. Nothing has actually happened to them yet. But already, their morning feels heavy. The strange thing is, none of those headlines, messages, or arguments actually happened to them. They belonged to someone else's morning. But somehow, they became theirs, before their own day had even begun. Maybe you know this feeling too. A stranger's bad news, sitting in your chest, hours later, for no clear reason at all. This happens to almost all of us, quietly. Our phones are fast. They're right there. 10 minutes with flowers, by comparison, feels slow, almost pointless, next to the speed of a notification. Speed has quietly become the standard we measure everything against. Anything slower than a scroll can feel like a waste, even when that slowness is exactly what our mind needs. It's worth asking yourself, honestly, when was the last time you did anything slowly, on purpose, without feeling like you should be doing something faster instead? Most of our days are built around speed. Fast replies, fast scrolling, fast decisions, made in seconds, without much thought behind them. 10 minutes with flowers doesn't fit that rhythm at all. And maybe that's exactly why it works so well. Many people see flower arranging as a hobby, not a habit that protects the mind. So it gets placed in the same category as things we do if we have time. Not something worth protecting every single day. Negativity doesn't wait politely for a good moment. It shows up the second you open your phone. Without warning. Without permission. Flowers ask you to pause first. Most of us simply aren't used to giving ourselves that pause. Think about how rarely we choose the order things enter our mind. Usually, whatever arrives first wins. This habit simply lets you decide what goes first. Recognizing this pattern is often the first real step toward changing it. You can't interrupt a habit you've never noticed. And now, you've noticed it. There's also a quiet belief many people carry. Useful mornings mean productive mornings. 10 minutes with flowers can feel like wasted time, next to messages or news. But that belief is worth questioning. What feels productive isn't always what protects your mind. A calm mind often gets more done, with less effort, than a mind already weighed down before the day has even started. This isn't an argument against being productive. It's simply a reminder that calm and capable often arrive together. There's one more reason worth naming, honestly. Many people compare their first attempt to someone else's finished result. A perfect vase, seen online, arranged by someone with years of practice. Your own first try will look nothing like that. A little uneven, a little messy maybe, and that's completely fine. This isn't a skill you're being graded on. Nobody is checking your arrangement for mistakes. The only goal is 10 slow minutes, not a beautiful result. If you catch yourself comparing, just notice it, gently, and go back to your hands and the stem in front of you. None of this means something is wrong with you. Almost everyone falls into this same pattern, simply because nothing ever interrupts it. You haven't failed at anything. You've simply never been offered a small, easy way to interrupt this pattern, until now. And the real reason this works has almost nothing to do with decoration. Let's talk about what's really happening when you spend 10 quiet minutes with flowers. Some research suggests slow, hands-on activities shift your mind from a reactive state into a present one. Reactive means your mind reacts to whatever comes at it. Present means your attention rests calmly on one thing. It's not really about the flowers creating happiness. It's about what happens when your hands are busy with something slow and your mind has nowhere urgent to rush toward. This is worth repeating just once more. The flowers aren't doing the work. Your slow, focused attention is doing the work. The flowers simply give it somewhere gentle to rest. There's a second piece worth understanding too. A reactive mind spends most of its energy responding to messages, to headlines, to whatever demands attention first. A present mind, even briefly, gets to choose where its energy goes. That choosing, even for just 10 minutes, can feel like a small act of quiet control over your own morning. Think about an older woman who tends her garden every morning, before anyone else in her house wakes up. She's not doing it for a result. She's doing it because those quiet minutes, hands in the soil, belong only to her. Or think about a man who arranges flowers before work, every single day, for years. His colleagues never quite understood why. He simply said it was the only 10 minutes that felt entirely his own, before the office, before meetings, before other people's demands filled his day. Think about a young father, up before his children, before the house gets loud. He doesn't arrange flowers for beauty. He does it because those quiet minutes are the only ones nobody else needs from him. He once said the strangest part wasn't the flowers themselves. It was noticing how loud his own mind had gotten, every single morning, without him ever realizing it until he finally sat down in silence. He said it took a few tries before it felt natural. The first few mornings felt strange, almost silly. Then, somewhere around the second week, it simply became part of his day. Many people describe a similar feeling with flowers. Cutting a stem, placing it, adjusting it slightly, the thoughts slow down without being forced. There's something else worth noticing too. Fresh stems, fresh water, fresh air from an open window, small, fresh details, all quietly signaling to your mind that this moment is different from the rush that usually follows. Fresh doesn't have to mean expensive or rare. A few fresh leaves from a garden, or even a nearby park, work just as well as flowers from a shop. Think about people who garden, or knit, or cook slowly. Many describe the same feeling, a calm that comes not from the activity itself, but from the pace of it. One morning, you may notice something small. The news hasn't changed. Your messages haven't changed. But somehow, you don't feel pulled into them quite as quickly as before. That small shift is easy to miss if you're looking for something dramatic. But it's real, and it tends to grow the more mornings you give it. Give it a week before you judge whether it's working. Some habits need a little time before their effect becomes clear. Of course, 10 minutes with flowers won't erase a difficult headline. It's not about avoiding reality. It's about choosing what enters your mind first, instead of letting the fastest, loudest thing get there before you're ready. This doesn't mean flowers hold some special power other slow activities don't. Many quiet, hands-on tasks offer something similar. Flowers simply happen to be small, accessible, and gentle, an easy place to start. But if it's so simple, why don't more people do it? So how do you actually build this into your morning? Here's what makes this simple. You attach the habit to the exact moment before you'd normally reach for your phone. Not a fixed hour. A feeling. The pull toward your screen, right when you wake up. Picture tomorrow. Soft, early light through the window. A glass of water on the table. A few simple flowers. From your garden, a market, or the grocery store. You sit quietly. One by one, You place each stem, taking your time. Nowhere else to be for these 10 minutes. There's no need to know anything about color or design. You choose where each stem feels right. There's no wrong way, because there's no test at the end. You might notice small details you'd normally rush past. The bend of a stem, the smell of a fresh leaf, the quiet sound of your own hands, moving slowly, without any hurry behind them. By the time you finally reach for your phone, your morning already feels like it belongs to you. This works because you attach it to the exact moment before you'd normally reach for your phone. Not after breakfast, not later, right at that first vulnerable moment, when negativity usually gets in first. Your phone stays somewhere else for these 10 minutes. Not silenced, not nearby, simply out of reach. Even a phone sitting quietly on the table pulls at your attention without a single notification. You know this feeling already. A phone in your pocket, even silent, still sits in the back of your mind. Distance helps more than silence does. Some people prepare a small space the night before, a little vase, a pair of scissors, ready and waiting. This isn't required, but it removes any small excuse your tired morning mind might look for. Everything simply waits, ready, right where you left it. Even the choice of where to sit matters a little. A quiet corner, a small table near a window, somewhere that already feels calm. It makes this habit easier to return to, morning after morning. Over time, this becomes less of a decision and more of a routine. Your body simply knows. Wake up, sit at this table, before anything else begins. A routine doesn't need to be rigid to work. Some mornings you'll have more time, some less. What matters is the order, not the exact number of minutes. Being consistent matters more than doing it perfectly. 10 simple minutes, every morning, protects your mind far more than one long arrangement, done once and forgotten. So here's your one action for tomorrow morning. Every day, before you check the news or any negative messages, spend 10 minutes arranging flowers. That's it. A few flowers, a few leaves, anything simple and natural works. No skill required, no perfect result expected. If flowers aren't nearby, a few leaves, a small branch, even a single stem works just as well. What matters is the pause, not the material. You don't need a special vase either. A simple glass, a jar from your kitchen, anything that holds water works fine. Arrange them however feels right to you. There's no correct order, no correct height, no correct number of stems. Some mornings, you'll rush through it, eyes half on the clock. That's fine too. An imperfect 10 minutes still beats a rushed 10 minutes with negative headlines. There's no streak to protect here, no number to track. Just a quiet invitation, offered again, every morning, whether you took it yesterday or not. Can you try this tomorrow? I think you can. 10 minutes. You already have everything you need. You don't need to be good at this. You just need to be willing to sit down and try. There's nothing to buy, nothing to prepare far in advance. Just 10 minutes, a few simple stems, and a willingness to let your phone wait. After about a week, many people notice their mornings feel steadier. After a few weeks, negative news often feels less able to control their whole mood. Nothing dramatic. Just small, real shifts, morning after morning. Nothing about this needs to be perfect. It just needs to be repeated. Think of it less like a cure and more like a small shield, one you rebuild every morning, gently, before anything difficult reaches you first. And if one day gets away from you, that's fine. Tomorrow offers another quiet 10 minutes, waiting for you again. Let's walk back through what we talked about today, slowly. Picture tomorrow morning. You wake up. Your phone waits, just for now. You spend 10 quiet minutes with a few simple stems before anything negative reaches you first. The room is quiet. Maybe the kettle is warming up somewhere behind you. Your hands move slowly, cutting one stem, then placing it, then another. There's no rush, no notification pulling at your attention. Just you, a few flowers, and 10 minutes that belong only to you. None of this fixes the world or removes hard news from existing. It simply gives your mind a small, protected space before the noise of the day arrives. Now let's remember our key words from today. Positive means hopeful and good, not sad or angry. Something you choose, more than you might think. Negative means sad, angry, or upsetting. It arrives fast, whether you invite it or not. Arrange means to put things in order, on purpose, slowly, with your own hands. Calm means quiet and relaxed, not stressed, the feeling this habit protects. Fresh means new, not old or wilted. True for flowers, and for mornings too. A routine is something small you do at the same time, every day. Small, but never small in its effect. Let's say each word once more, slowly. Positive, negative, arrange, calm, fresh, routine. 6 small words, 1 simple habit, connecting all of them together. 5 small habits, 1 shared goal, protecting your mind before the day gets the chance to do it for you. You might notice this same instinct showing up elsewhere too. Before opening an email, before a hard conversation. That same pause, on purpose, borrowed from your mornings with flowers. The world will always have another headline waiting for you. But tomorrow morning, before you read someone else's story, spend 10 quiet minutes creating your own beginning. We'll be here again tomorrow with another small habit. Until then, take care of your mornings. They matter more than most of us realize. See you tomorrow.